UFC 210 overall. What do you think? It's not nothing that really to me. I don't know. Like when I look at this, there's a couple fights that kind of like I said, the main event, the co-main event, and then that Alvarez versus Cote fight. That's three fights, but in the same sense, they really don't tickle my balls enough to make me happy.
I give them a 7. They got names, but am I going to rush out and buy it? No. Will I go to a bar if it's on and watch it? Yeah. Am I paying $10 to get in the bar and watch it? No. But I mean,
Is that what Beef charges?
I don't know if Beefs is still doing that, but if they are, they need to come off that shit.
Yeah, I personally I won't pay $10 to go watch it. I'll sit there on my phone and go on the UFC.com and just keep updating and see what happens. I mean, and then I can just go to YouTube about an hour after the fight and watch the whole fight anyway because somebody always tapes it and puts it on YouTube an hour after the fight.
And that's another thing, people. I mean, if the pay per view is $39.95, it's $40. Yeah, I might pay $40 to see those fights. But if you really want to get me watching a fight, you've got to have some studs, man. Like there's got to be a multi-fight card. It's got to be like 3, 4 good fights down the line. I mean, it's got to be good fights. Like you can't just be serving me up some. Okay, these are two good fighters. This is like the Patrick Cote and the Thiago Alves fight. That'll probably be a really good fight. But you got to have like 4 of them fucking things on one card, and then people don't mind paying to see it. But you can't just like serve up some lukewarm fucking meatloaf and expect us to think that, oh, I'll pay prime rib price for this. No, I won't neither.
I mean, it's I don't know. It's one of the things that I can't see. I guess it stems back from when I paid good money to watch some of these wrestling events or these MMA fights and were very disappointed and feel like I got ripped off for spending $50 to watch them. I'm kind of jaded against it now, where I won't pay that kind of money to see them. Like maybe if it's a good fight, I might pay the $10 to get into a bar to see it. If it's like you said, if it has 4 good cards that are like stellar fighters, it's going to be like top of the line fights. And yes, I'll pay $10 to watch it. But stuff like that, like 210, maybe $5, maybe.
You want to hear my honest opinion about UFC? Listen, the reason why your hardcore fans are always going to watch is because they admire every aspect of the fight. But I'm a casual viewer. I'm not going to be able to name off every fighter in your weight classes. I probably can't even tell you who owns the belts in half your weight classes right now, other than Conor McGregor, but because he's the hot name. But I'm a casual viewer. I like seeing knockouts and blood and people getting fucking beat down, and I like watching people get beat the hell up. But what I don't like doing is getting hyped up for a fight for an entire 2 or 3 month process. I spend $60 on a pay per view, and then half the pay per view is just gay man sex on the mat. I don't want to see that shit. If I want to see gay man sex, I'll just go watch some gay fucking porn. You know what I mean? Like I'm not watching that shit because I don't watch that. I don't want to see that. If I wanted to, I'd go watch it. You understand what I'm getting at? Like when 2 dudes are on the mat, dry humping each other and sweating on each other, and it's looking really fucking gay for like 2.5 minutes. You're thinking, why haven't you stood these 2 assholes up so they could fight? And everyone's like, oh, they're still intelligently defending themselves. It looks like they're fucking each other, okay? Let's be real.
You know what UFC needs to do, badass?
What do they need to do?
They need to go old school.
No weight limits, no weight classes, multiple fights, all
No,
that.
no, 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 not that.
Not old school.
Not old school. I'm talking about old school, like you know, upper '90s, early 2000s, where they had fights cards that were stacked, where you had 4 or 5 or 6 matches in there. We were like, man, all these fights could be technically fight of the night because they're that good. I mean, that's back when we had Hughes and the Iceman and having Chuck Liddell and having Tito Ortiz and all those guys. When you had those guys in there, it was like every card you were like, man, I want to get this because it's worth it.
The talent pool was deep then.
It
Very
was
deep.
Now you have a lot of guys where they've saturated the product so much that they've oversaturated it, and now you have a lot of no-name fighters that are fighting. You have so many fighters in your company that you have to, only give them one, maybe two fights in a year. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Kind of like what WWE does. They oversaturate and they bring too much talent in, and then there's people like good people that end up getting turned away. Like
because they have too many people.
Like Albert Del Rios. They finally got to the point where they pulled the trigger and said, well, we can't use your services anymore. We want to bring some of these new guys in, the AJ Styles, the Samoa Joes, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a good thing because AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are the future of the sport. Don't get me wrong, they are the future of the sport. But in the same sense, you have people like The Miz, who's a good wrestler. I think he's a good wrestler. And he's good on the mic, and he's really good, but he never gets the credit. He never gets a chance to be a champ. He was champion one time, and it's because he won Money in the Bank and he cashed it in and won it. After Edge had a match where the shit was kicked out of him, and he was all but beaten to a pulp. And he just comes in and does his finisher and pins him, and that's it. But that's the only opportunity he really gets. I mean, yes, granted, he's gotten Intercontinental Championships, Tag Team Championships, but it's one of the things that, getting back to what I'm talking about, they oversaturate the product to bring too many people into the company, and then you get to the point where it gets old and stale, and you're just like, that's not really that great. Like Bellator, you look at these fights, you're like, these aren't great fights. You look at UFC 210. I mean, yeah, granted, there are 3 good fights, but that's really it.
It's not like the days where Matt Hughes fought, and you were like, you know what? I don't really like a whole lot of this wrestling shit, but I know Matt Hughes is going to pick these motherfuckers up, slam them a bunch of times. He's going to do some elbows. He's actually going to beat some people up, and then he's on the ground. Think about it. He revolutionized the ground and pound. That little son of a bitch will literally just get up close to you, wait for you to fuck up. Boop, you're on the ground. Up, he's on top. Boom, boom, boom. He's raining elbows.
He's mounted you now.
The fight's over. He's done beat the hell out of it. That's back when you're like, okay, I like watching this because this little motherfucker gets you on the ground and you're staying there. You're going to be eating some shots. And then, like you said, they got all these mid-level talent guys come in. They think, oh, I'm going to be like Matt Hughes. I'm just going to pick this dude up and slam him. And I'm going to mount him. I'm going to start raining elbows. 3 minutes later, yeah, you've mounted him all right. And it looks like you're having a whole lot of fun stroking. Not the stroking I'm talking about because it ain't fucking looking good. That's what I'm saying. The sport has gone, I don't like that aspect of it. I like watching 2 fighters stand up and fucking swing at each other. Everyone's like, oh, we'll go watch boxing. Fuck boxing. You see what boxing gives you? A bunch of hugging and dancing and bullshit. I like MMA because in the cage you can't run. And if you do run, the motherfucker can just track you down. There is no stop. You can't hug a motherfucker in UFC. Well, you can, but when he slams your ass to the ground and starts raining shots on your face, don't fucking get mad at him. That's why I don't box. Fuck boxing. Boxing was the shit back in the 70s, 80s, even in the 90s, the golden age of boxing back from the 20s to the 50s. That's when boxing was boxing because men were men. They're a bunch of bitches now. They don't like to fight. All the real men go to MMA now because they do like to fight. Because you can have a wrestling-based guy go in against a karate guy and he could try to slam him and the karate guy kicks him in the mouth and knocks him out. Or karate guy misses a kick, he picks him up, slams him on the ground, starts beating his fucking face in. That's the beauty about MMA. You can have all styles of fighting. There's no running away. There's no being a little bitch.
Badass. You keep talking about how you want the hate to come in. We're definitely getting some hate mail.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Fuck them all. Bring it.
Because not only did you chastise North Carolina and Roy Williams, then you kind of did the thing with the gay thing. That being gay. 2 guys on the ground hugging each other and wrestling is gay. Which, I know you used to always tease me about me being a wrestler and how gay it was, but me coming back from being that wrestler guy, it's not really that gay. It's like gladiator style.
I don't know. There's nothing gay about 2 men sweaty in tights wrestling each other to the ground. There's nothing homoerotic about that at all.
There isn't.
No, of course not. I'm gonna pin you to the ground and hold you by your testicles, and I'm gonna mount you so you know that I'm better than you. There is nothing homoerotic about that.
All right, so on all North Carolina fans, the LGBTs, and of course the boxing fans, you can direct your hate to Badass at the Burger and Badass Show at Facebook.com.
You know what? Bring it. It's called the First Amendment, and you can suck my ass. I can say what I want. You don't like it? Don't fucking listen, bitches.
All right, so now I want to go ahead. We were talking about wrestling before. I actually want to talk about what we were talking about last week. WrestleMania was this past weekend, and I know you didn't get a chance to come in and watch it with me, but I actually sat there and watched it, and I have to say that this year's WrestleMania was probably the best WrestleMania ever.
Best ever?
One of the best ever. Not the best ever, one of the best ever. It was a top three. I definitely say top three.
Well, I did talk to the new cat, the new guy at work, Will.
Uh-huh.
The one I call Wilbur. Yeah, I actually talked to him. He was at WrestleMania. He said it was a blast. He loved it. Of course, Matt Hayes probably cried when...
I'm gonna talk about that.
All right, fine. I won't ruin your moment.
Yeah, don't ruin my moment.
But yes, from what I heard, even Boss Man ordered it and watched it. He said he watched it, and he said it was pretty good. Also, he said Power Rangers, the movie, was good, surprisingly.
You know, it's funny. I've had 2 customers come in and say the same thing.
That's what we'll get to you later, Power Rangers. We've heard good things. But no shit. Everyone I've talked to about WrestleMania said that it wasn't the best, but it's up there because it was good.
I have to say it was one of my top 3 WrestleManias.
Apparently there was a lot of moments.
There was a lot of moments. So, of course, WrestleMania was this weekend, and it's kind of like the Super Bowl for, football, but for wrestling. And, on Friday night, they do it every year. It's traditional. They have the Hall of Fame ceremony. And, of course, if you've been listening to our show, you know that we've been, over the last month and a half, we've been given names at who's getting inducted. So they had the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday. And the first inductee was none other than DDP, who was inducted by former boss Eric Bischoff. He gave a very inspirational speech and some really good stories about former great Dusty Rhodes. Legendary tag team Rock and Roll Express was inducted by Jim Cornette and had numerous stories about their old NWA days.
Oh, I bet you those were good.
Oh, those were awesome. I mean, like hearing the old stories, the locker room stories about some of them old-time wrestlers.
Territory wrestling.
Oh, yeah, like Terry Funk and, Mick Foley and all those guys.
It's just a good old boy.
Yeah.
Seriously, I bet you those were some fucking good stories, though.
And then we had Beth Phoenix inducted by Natalya, who is actually the niece of Bret Hart.
I did not know that. That's actually pretty cool.
She thanked a ton of divas spanning as far back as Lita, Trish Stratus, Kelly, and Rosa Mendez. I know you know some of those names there.
Yes, actually, I know who all those women are, actually. Yes.
Legends in the sport.
They really are. They've earned their spot because they all 4 brought their own thing to the table and pushed the boundaries that much further for the actual women's section of wrestling.
Teddy Long was inducted by the APA, Ron Simmons, and JBL, and that guy is crazy. Some of his stories were absolutely hilarious about being on the road and backstage pranks and jokes and just incidents. Like, that man drinks beer.
I'd pay good fucking money to hang out with JBL. I ain't gonna lie. I would.
I was actually talking about Teddy Long.
Oh, I thought you were talking about JBL.
Oh, no.
See, when you said all that, I was like, oh, that's JBL all the way.
No, that was Teddy Long.
Oh, so that's Mr. Teddy Long.
Teddy Long is a character in
So
itself.
apparently he gets down.
Oh, he gets real down. Like, he likes to drink that beer.
He likes to get down. Well, that's cool as shit. I'd pay good money to hang out with him, too.
He likes that Michelob Light.
I bet he does.
So, a lot of his stories and stuff, it were hilarious. Like, it was funny because I was watching this, and he came out, and he started doing his little dance that he always does, and all of a sudden he was like, ooh, like he hurt himself. And then JBL and Ron Simmons come out and like, are you okay? And he jumps up and he's like, I'm fine. And he's like, I got you. And they're like, oh man, it was a fun time. Like, that's what I love about Hall of Fame, is that it gives a chance for the WWE to open their curtains and get to see these people as people and not just a character on television.
Yeah, the actual person behind what you see. It's like what you see on TV is obviously scripted, duh. But there are people behind, like they're real people too. They got lives, they got friends, they got family, they got shit going on. They're just like us. They just happen to be on TV and they got some money, but they are like us.
Also, the great Rick Rude was inducted by the great Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Rude's wife, son, and daughter all came out, which his son gave a very touching speech about his dad, both as a wrestler and a father.
Oh, you fat, nasty, sweaty, out of shape slobs, cover your eyes. Like, so I can show your ladies. Like, seriously, that dude was the shit.
I mean, he was like the perfect gimmick.
Yeah, you really, I mean, not all that fucking gyrating his hips and fucking flicking his hair, sweat at people like an asshole. I mean, how could you not like the guy?
So then you also had Eric Legrand, who also gave a very inspirational speech after receiving the Warrior Award for his courage and ability to never give up. I mean, this guy is I watched it, and it's kind of hard. I mean, you know, I'm a man, but I can admit, I got a little teary-eyed because that man was playing football, and in one day, one hit, that changed his life forever. But he's never given up. He's never given up. He's never said, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be stuck in this wheelchair the rest of my life. No. In his speech, he says, I will be walking in the next 2 years. So, I mean, it was just very inspirational to see him come out and, you know, not let something like that happen, you know, something like that happen, hold him down. He's saying, you know what, I'm still going to, you know, survive this, and I'm going to walk again.
Hey, you never know. He just might. I'm pulling for him.
And then, lastly, the Hall of Fame is wrapped up with the headline of the year's induction, Kurt Angle, who was inducted by the great John Cena, who's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, easy.
First ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to be like The Undertaker.
Yep.
But he was inducted by John Cena, and he was brought in by the WWE Universe by his famous "You Suck" chants, which was great. I mean, they were loud. Like deafening loud. And he just smiled the whole time, just waving like, yep. That's great.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
So, Kurt Angle was also very funny as he went through all his old gimmicks like the small cowboy hat, singing Jimmy Crack Corn and I Don't Care, to the fake wig with the wrestling headgear. You remember that?
I do remember that, yes.
And then he even broke out the infamous rap battle with John Cena.
Oh, God. I wish that would just stay in the dirt. That's so bad.
But it was hilarious.
Was it good?
It was really great. And it even had like crowd participation where they were clapping along for the beat. It was awesome.
That's great.
And then lastly, as he concluded his speech, he pulled a Stone Cold Steve Austin and he took 2 jars of milk and poured them up and put them up and just, I mean, absolutely just had milk all over. I mean, at one point when he was doing this and he was drinking the milk like Stone Cold drank a beer, milk was just going in the front of him. You couldn't even see the front of his tux because it was just all white from where the milk was just going down. I mean, there was a puddle. I mean, huge ass puddle on the stage. And of course, he got a big, huge pop on that after he did it.
Oh, so, I bet.
What's really interesting is, I know that, you know, I actually watched the Raw after WrestleMania, which, again, that's the craziest Raw of all the Raws on during the whole year. That one right there is probably the craziest Raw. That crowd is so ruckus and
it's
so
the
just
Brits.
The fucking Brits, they go fucking crazy. I mean, they were chanting and booing, and I mean, it was just insane.
Matt Hayes told me it's the Brits. It's their last night of an event over here. They're all good and fucked up and drunk. They're all sauced on their benders, and that's when you get them at their funniest.
I mean, at one point, Heyman came out with Brock Lesnar talking about how, you know, this will be the last time you see Goldberg, right?
Right.
Next thing you know, you have "Thank you, Lesnar. Thank you, Lesnar" chants going. I mean, loud, like you can hear them. I'm like, damn.
So did Brock beat Goldberg?
Brock did beat Goldberg, but I will get into that here in a second. I'm gonna get into WrestleMania, but
I just remember we talked about that, and I told Joseph, yeah, he's probably gonna do it this time.
You know, I knew Goldberg would come back on a short-term basis, But I thought he'd be back a little bit longer than what he was. I mean, he was only here for like 6 months. I mean, that's half a year, but still, I mean,
Gone again.
Gone again. And apparently, after Raw, like there was a segment after they went off air. Apparently, there was a segment where he came out and told the crowd that his main priority now is going to be with his family, and that he thanked all the fans, and that was it.
I'm sure those Brits were understanding.
Oh yeah, they cheered him.
They did?
After they said thank you Lesnar for taking him out, they do a complete 360 and they start cheering him and thank you Goldberg chants going. I'm like, really?
See, I would never really care about going to WrestleMania, but I would definitely love to go to the Raw afterwards. That would just be too good.
Like if they ever had one where it was like WrestleMania Atlanta with Raw in Atlanta after that, I'd probably want to go to the Raw. I mean, I would want to go to the WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, do the whole weekend.
I'm surprised you didn't go this year, man. You've been down here a whole year. I figured you just saved up money and went.
I really wanted to go. Like it was right in my dad's backyard. I mean, I had a place to stay. My dad told me he would take me. I just never had the money to really save up to do it.
I'm telling you, man, because it was close.
It's gonna happen. That's like on my bucket list. It's gonna happen before it's all said and done.
I'm telling you, you need to talk to Matt Hayes, man. He'll help you. He'll show you the way.
Oh, trust me, that's bad news because I'll be going next year to New Orleans, sitting on Bourbon Street getting drunk as fuck.
He's going back. He's already said he's going back because he's already been to the New Orleans one once. He said he's going back. It's not even a question.
That's gonna be absolutely fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to start hanging out with Matt Hayes. You start hanging out with him right now. Next year, you get a free ticket to fucking WrestleMania. Probably all the other shows too, and the Hall of Fame. That's how he rolls.
Man, I'd love that.
That's what I'm telling you. You need to start hanging out with this cat. I'm not kidding. Y'all two are like two peas in a pod, except thank God you don't listen to fucking Goo Goo Dolls.
Okay, so moving on.
That was perfect. Go ahead.
So Sunday, we won't even touch on that subject. Let's just say I went through a phase.
No, don't even want to hear it. Continue.
So on Sunday we had WrestleMania 33, and it was great from start to finish. You had two title matches where both Neville won the Cruiserweight Championship, Neville, the Cruiserweight Champion, and Dean Ambrose, the Intercontinental Champion, both retained their belts. And Mojo Rawley getting a little bit of help from New England Patriots, Rob Gronkowski, to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. So that was the first big surprise. It was in the pre-show. You had Rob Gronkowski, New England Patriot, jump over the guardrail and get in the ring and do a football shoulder tackle like the old LT did against Bam Bam Bigelow in WrestleMania a long time ago.
Yep.
Did the same thing to Jinder Mahal. And then, of course, Mojo Rawley picked him up and threw him over the ropes. But the actually funny thing in this was, and I don't know if the security guard knew this was going to happen or just wasn't aware of it, Rob Gronkowski jumped over the railing, and a female security guard came running up, and I mean bear hugged Gronkowski. And of course, when you're hugging a big guy like Gronkowski,
he's gonna drag your
you're
ass.
You're gonna look like an ant on a bear.
You're going for a ride, yeah.
I mean, she just came up and she just bear hugged him and was trying to push him, and he just looked down at her like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then of course, a couple of the referees and guys that were a part of the production came over like, no, he's part of the show. He's good. And then, of course, they let him get in the ring and do his thing.
Oh, so she was actually jerking his ass up. She didn't know.
She thought it was a fan, jumping over the railing. And she was like,
oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. I don't know if, being a big event like that, security, I know how it is. I mean, I didn't work security. But I was a bouncer for 5 years. So I know how it is when you have a big night, like a Tuesday night, $1 iced tea nights, and you get all the trash coming in and getting drunk for $20. You're thinking, okay, something's going to pop off here. So,
and it does.
And it does. So, I think she thought it was a fan just jumping over the railing because she, came full speed at him and wrapped him up. And then the production guy came over like, no, he's part of the show. He's good. So, that was pretty funny. I was like, wait a minute, that really just happened?
That is pretty cool.
So then we get into the big main event of all the 10 big matches of WrestleMania. The main card. And here's the second surprise. And I kind of gave you a spoiler on this one because I told you what happened. But the Hardy Boys have made their return to the WWE after being gone for several years and going to be in TNA. They are back. The Hardy Boys, them crazy motherfuckers that like jump off ladders and go through tables and fucking stick their tongues out and fucking all kinds of crazy shit. They're back. And they actually come back and somehow interject themselves into the Raw Tag Team Championship, which is supposed to be a triple threat ladder match, which then became a fatal 4-way ladder match. And you'll never believe this. Jeff Hardy jumps off a 12-foot ladder onto Cesaro, laying on a ladder, and they go right through it, leaving Matt Hardy up there by himself with nobody around to grab the titles and win their 7th ever tag team championships.
Hey man, that's good for fucking WWE because everybody likes the Hardy Boys. They are willing to go out there and throw themselves off of whatever fucking height necessary to fucking put on a good show. They're absolutely out of their fucking minds. You will forever be seeing Jeff Hardy launching himself off of ladders through tables onto other shit. He's a high flyer, and he actually might be the most fucking insane high flyer they have. He really might.
And then here's the second big surprise. You had John Cena and Nikki Bella beating The Miz and Maurice in a mixed tag team match. But all the action actually happened after the match, as the whole WWE universe was in tears as John Cena proposed to longtime girlfriend Nikki Bella in what was remnants of Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth's proposal.
Man, did it look genuine or was it staged?
No, it was real.
It was real.
Like, her family was there. Like, before the match, when they were walking up to the ring, I saw her, like, walking, and then all of a sudden they stopped. And all of a sudden, John Cena jumped out of the ring and walked over. And apparently it was Nikki Bella's mom and I guess, like, a sister and a brother, maybe. And apparently, they were all there, so something was up. But I didn't catch it at first. I was like, oh, maybe they're just there to, watch him wrestle at WrestleMania. And then he does something unexpected and he proposes to her. And it wasn't one of those, like, fake, storyline proposals like you've seen, like, Stephanie McMahon test,
right.
Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon in half the locker room.
Stephanie McMahon's a whore, we know.
Don't let Triple H hear you say that.
What's he gonna do? Fucking pedigree me? Bring it. I'm gonna sue your ass.
You're gonna be sitting here one morning, you're gonna open the door, and he's gonna be standing over the sledgehammer going, "Time to play the game, motherfucker."
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be like, "All right, motherfucker, cheat code." And I'm gonna be like, "Boot," and kick his. He's gonna be like, "Damn it, not fair." I'm like, "Yep, time to play the game." Like, spit your bottle of water elsewhere, asshole.
But yeah, it had a lot of remnants of the Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth proposal a long time ago. Kind of curious to see if they're gonna get married in the ring, kind of like Randy Savage did, or if they're gonna go ahead and just do it outside and make that personal.
They should probably go the secondary route. I don't know if you want to follow in Randy Savage's footsteps on that one. He's kind of an original thing. Like, I'd just leave that one alone. That's just me.
We also had Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship, beating Bray Wyatt, which, I kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah, there's only so much follow the buzzard's lantern bullshit that you can put up with.
Don't get me wrong. Bray Wyatt is a huge, huge future to this company. He's going to be around for a long time. But I think in the same sense, Randy Orton hasn't been champion in a long time. I think it was just about time to put the belt around his waist again.
Has he been fucking up, pissing people off? What's he been doing?
No, he's been taking some time off and spending it with family and not really, doing it full time and having that time to be a champion. And with storylines and everything, it's been kind of hard to play him into that. But after he became number one contender, it looked like, he was a part of Bray Wyatt's cult. And then all of a sudden, like a couple weeks for WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt's out in the ring, and all of a sudden the video comes up, and Randy Orton's standing outside his old home. And, and he's standing there, and he's got a can of gasoline, and he's standing with a match, and he's like, "I'm going to burn your whole world to the ground." And he, like, lights the match and, like, throws it down, and, like, the whole place lights on fire. And he's like, "I'm coming for you, and I'm coming for your championship." So it kind of set it up that, it looked like he wasn't going to fight him because at first he was like, I'm not going to fight you. I have too much respect for you. I'm not going to do it. But in the end, he ended up fighting him and he ended up winning the belt again.
That's pretty cool.
You also had Bayley retaining the Raw Women's Championship after a brutal fatal four-way against Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax. That matchup was insane because it started off with Nia Jax, like all three of them trying to attack Nia Jax. And Nia Jax just beat the living piss out of him for the first about 10 minutes of the match. Maybe it wasn't 10 minutes, maybe like first 5 minutes. But then after that, they got smart and they went for the, when you're going to get something big, what's the first thing you go after?
Knees.
Exactly. They go after her knees, knock her down. Next thing you know, they do this crazy, like, suplex move with her up in the air, and they powerbomb her into the ground. And then all three of them jump on top of her and pin her. Nia Jax is eliminated. That's who I had winning it all. Because I thought, about time they put a belt around her waist. But then again, I was thinking, Bayley just winning the title. They might want to leave it on her.
Pay your dues and then they'll give it to you.
She's been doing good and she's really been up and coming, so she deserves it. So then maybe down the line, Nia Jax might get that chance.
I haven't heard the name Paige. What happened to her?
Oh, you didn't hear about Paige? Well, let's see. She first got suspended by the company because of illegal substances in her blood.
Okay.
Then, to top it off, then she runs her mouth on social media, pisses off WWE, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon, Corporation, pisses them all off, and goes on social media and runs her mouth.
Being a millennial ass.
Being a dumb millennial bitch. And then turned around and leaves and gets released by the company.
Right.
Now, you're going to love this.
Jesus Christ, there's more?
Oh, there's more. You'll
It's
love
like
this.
one of those fucking 99-cent salesmen. Wait, there's more.
Trust me. It's like the fucking Jerry Springer show.
Oh my God, what else has happened?
Then 2 weeks ago, which I didn't report about this because I don't know if it was really too big of a story, but apparently pictures were hacked out of Paige's account of her naked and showing her tits and showing down there, and it was pretty graphic. And then the next day, it gets better. Next day, videos were released.
Ooh.
And then 2 days later, find out that one of the people that were in the video was actually New Day's Xavier Woods.
Oh, man.
And the other guy that was filming it was a former guy that was actually the Raw general manager at one point.
Man.
Yeah, so Paige has not had a really good, last 6-7 months. Like, the last 6-7 months have been horrible for her.
I'd say so, man. Well, I'm sorry I even asked. Moving along. Damn.
Yeah, so that was the Reader's Digest version of it all.
Careful what you fucking ask, man. Shit.
So you also had Kevin Owens become the new U.S. champion as he beat former friend Chris Jericho. And I mean, this match was brutal. These guys were pulling out moves that were insane. It all ended with Chris Jericho being up in a powerbomb outside the ring and getting powerbombed onto the side of the mat with his back hit the side of the mat. And that's how it all ended. But from what I understand, there's supposed to be a rematch at the next pay-per-view in a month.
Who do you think's going to win that one?
I think Jericho might lose this one too. I think Chris Jericho is going to go on tour with his band. So right now, I think he's looking to take some time off and go out with his band. So
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens is going to actually win this match and kind of be like, all right, well, he's going to do something drastic where he beats the hell out of Chris Jericho to the point where,
he's got to be
they
hospitalized.
say he's injured.
Right.
And he ends up taking a break and going out on tour with Fozzy.
Hey, he's coming to Carolina Rebellion with Fozzy.
I can't wait for that.
Telling you, man, Carolina Rebellion's where it's at.
We also had AJ Styles, who was took to the limit by Shane McMahon. And I mean, this match, you would think, okay, it's Shane McMahon, the son of, the guy who owns the WWE, Vince McMahon. You think, okay, well, they're going to take it easy on him. No.
Dude, Shane goes hard every time he's in a match.
I mean, he went super hard this time. At one point, AJ Styles jumped off, had him in the corner with a trash can over his face. Somehow, when he jumped, AJ Styles jumped off the rope and tried to do the two-leg kick into the trash can like Shane McMahon's been known to do.
Right.
He somehow jumps up and throws the can in his face. And I mean, the way he landed, he almost landed in a fetal position when he hit him with a trash can. It was nasty looking.
Ooh.
Like, I saw that, I was like, ooh, that looked like he really hit him for real. And then, of course, he drug him over to the rope, stuck the new trash can in there, and then went rope to rope and did the old two legs to the trash can and kicked him in the face. But, I mean, at one point, he had AJ Styles on the table, and he was, on the announcer's table. He jumped from all the way over there and jumped off the ring, top rope, and missed. AJ Styles moved the last minute and missed. And he went crashing. I mean, he bounced off that table. He looked like a tennis ball bouncing off a wall.
Ooh.
I mean, it was bad. But, I mean, these guys just, absolutely just
wore each other out.
And that was the first match of WrestleMania, of the main card. And it lived up to all the hype. Like, everybody, it's probably going to be an alright match. No. This was probably one of the better matches
of the whole night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You also had WWE CEO Triple H losing to Seth Rollins. And actually, Seth Rollins actually pretty impressive. I don't know if that whole knee injury thing is fake or real. I don't know if it's part of the story or not. But, I mean, he looked pretty... I mean, he looked sore. Like, he looked like it did hurt him. But for somebody that apparently, like, tore his meniscus and have a tear in the ACL, he was moving around the ring pretty well.
So Seth Rollins is actually holding his own. I know Roman Reigns is doing well on his own, and I know Dean Ambrose is doing well on his own. So Seth Rollins is actually holding his own.
He is now that he's back, because of course he had that injury where he went to go powerbomb on Kane through the table. And he blew out his ACL and he was out, and he missed WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
Well, he's just getting back into it now, and now they have the angle where Triple H was a guy that took Seth Rollins and made him a solo wrestler and not be a part of the Shield. And he felt like he created him, and Seth Rollins slapped him in the face and started listening to the WWE Universe and started going against him. So they kind of had that angle for the last couple weeks, and like at one of the shows about a month ago, he actually invaded NXT, which Triple H runs NXT.
Right.
He's like the main guy of NXT, like what Vince McMahon is, to the main card. Which, I mean, Triple H is still running Raw, running Raw and SmackDown. Well, he's not running SmackDown. Shane McMahon's running SmackDown, but he's running Raw with Stephanie. So, I mean, with him having, all that, all of a sudden, like, they're doing announcing, all of a sudden this guy runs in the ring with a hood on. It comes out and he's like, this show is called Takeover. Well, I'm taking it over. And he pulls his hat, his top of his hoodie off, and it's Seth Rollins, and he calls out Triple H, telling him to come out there and do something. So, I mean, they've been building it up for the last couple months.
Do you think that you'll ever see the Shield come back together?
Possible. They've hinted at it a couple times, so I mean, there's a possibility that he could do that.
That would be pretty cool.
You also had Brock Lesnar, which I was talking about before, defeating Goldberg to win the Raw Universal Championship. And I mean, I think it was one of those things that I think Goldberg was slated to stay through WrestleMania. And they had a contract through WrestleMania, and he decided that, what, I want to go home and be with my family. I had my second run, my last run. That's it. I'm retiring. I'll make it into the WWE Hall of Fame at some point.
We had our fun with this, but now it's over.
Yeah. And then lastly, the main event of WrestleMania 33, you had Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. And I give The Undertaker a lot of credit for somebody who's been doing this for over 30 years plus. He went out there and wrestled 25 minutes and put on one hell of a show. Roman Reigns did win this match, but it took a couple Superman punches and spears to keep the dead man down. But what happened after the match shocked the WWE Universe. Well, maybe some of us, because some of us knew it was coming. But As the Undertaker walked to the middle of the ring, he took off and his music was playing. He took off his famous long trench coat and laid it down the middle of the ring with his hat, and then just walked off in the sunset. And now it's like rumored, like everybody, like you see, like social media, like all the greats, like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, all those guys are commenting. Triple H even commented, "Thank you for what you did, Undertaker. You were great." So that tells me
He's done.
Undertaker's done. This is his last hurrah. He did his last WrestleMania. He passed the torch to Roman Reigns. They built it up the whole time as Roman Reigns saying, "This is my yard now." Remember how Undertaker used to say, "This is my yard"?
What if fucking Roman Reigns goes away in some weird storyline? Like, what if he like has something so terrible happen that he dies? What if he comes back as the new dead man? Jesus Christ, he could do it. That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
Can you imagine Roman Reigns being the new Undertaker? Long fucking hair, get him pale, have him doing the eyes, but dude, that would be fucking sick.
But see, I don't think they're going to do that. You know
I
why?
know they won't, but
Because that's kind of, I mean, I'm not saying it's disrespectful to Undertaker's legacy, but
only if he allows it. Obviously.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, really, I mean, he has, that'd be like somebody come back and saying, "Okay, I'm the next Ric Flair."
No, it's different because Ric Flair is an actual man's name. The Undertaker is a character. The Undertaker is the dead man. Technically, you could run with that idea, but only if he were going to allow you to do it. Because you're right, that is his legacy. If you're going to be able to take it, it's because he allowed you to have it.
Yeah. So I mean, that was kind of like the cherry on the sundae of shocking WrestleMania things that happen. You have the great legend Undertaker, who's going to be a first-time Hall of Famer, definitely. You know, having his last match at WrestleMania and passing that torch over to Roman Reigns. You know, kind of saying, "All right, it is your yard now. Do your thing."
Oh, I agree.
So that was WrestleMania, and you know, man, I'm just saying that was probably, like I said, one of the best WrestleManias that I have seen in a very, very long time. I mean, it was just action packed from start to finish. The storylines are great. I got to see my boy James Ellsworth make his WrestleMania debut in the six-pack challenge for the SmackDown WWE Women's Championship. He went out with Carmella, and it was pretty cool because he interjected himself and got beat up by one of the female wrestlers. So that was kind of fun to watch it because, of course, you know, I did a little thing with him when he wrestled in indie wrestling up in Delaware. I did a thing with him in the ring, and it was pretty neat. I actually have it on CD or DVD, and you've seen it before. It's pretty neat, you know, you get that chance to get in the ring and interact with the wrestlers.
It is pretty cool, and especially when you're a big-time wrestling guy.
Yeah, when you're like a lifetime wrestling fan like I am, I mean,
You can't help it.
you can't help it. So, go ahead and moving on into our next topic. It is going to be Coastal Carolina University cheerleading squad has been suspended indefinitely from all further activities after being arrested for numerous charges, including prostitution. After an anonymous letter was sent to the university on March 7th, Coastal Carolina President David DeCenzo received an anonymous letter accusing the cheerleading squad of prostitution, purchases and alcohol for underage team members, and paying other students to complete their schoolwork. According to the cheerleaders, they were met outside the HTC Center after their practice on Monday, and names of individual team members were called out and took to the CCU police station for questioning. The cheerleading section of Coastal Carolina Athletic website has been removed, and the cheerleading showcase on April 4th was canceled. They were also supposed to compete in a national championships in Daytona Beach, Florida, after raising their own money for travel expenses and entrance fees, and are upset because they were told they are not allowed to compete. Officials for the competition said the team is still registered and paid in full, and have not heard that the team is not coming to this event.
That's pretty fucked up. I mean, whether it's true or not, you had shit happen and come from it, and that's kind of shitty because you might not have done anything. But I mean, hey, I had to give you the use a hoe because I mean, let's just face it here. Chances are good this shit's probably true. I mean, it might not be true. It is allegedly because right now no one knows for sure. It's a legend, but I could see some shit like that happening. That's all I'm saying. I could see it. Don't get mad because the world is the way it is.
And you know what's crazy is actually parents of these kids took to social media complaining that they thought it was unfair that they're all being judged and some of them might not have been involved in it, and how the school was quick to jump to conclusions, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting because they kind of just jumped to conclusions and they were like, okay, well, you're not competing in this, you're not competing in that. We're taking all recognition of where you guys were out of here, and there's no cheerleading squad.
It's knee-jerk reaction society. This is what people do. Like, somebody comes out and says something that's offensive. Oh, God damn, we have to stop. We have to pull sponsorship. We have to make a stance. Calm down. No, you don't. People say shit all the time. Deal with it. If you're going to be that thin-skinned and you're going to be that fucking wishy-washy, then fuck you anyway. Who the hell wants you anyway? Fuck you and your money.
So, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this story because I know there's going to be updates coming soon. But, I agree with you. I think there was a knee-jerk reaction, kind of like with Minnesota thing.
Yep. The exact same thing.
And now they've pulled everything, and now they're going to look stupid because I bet some of them had nothing to do with it and are going to be cleared.
I guarantee you a lot of them had nothing to do. I mean, if this is happening, how do you think you're going to get like 40 fucking people to keep this shit quiet? Are you kidding me? Yeah, right.
But I love how they're talking about anonymous letter.
Yeah, anonymous my ass.
I think it might have been somebody that on the squad that wasn't like clicking with the big click.
Yep, that's a dissatisfied detractor.
And they said, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send an anonymous letter to the president of the college and let him know what's really going on behind closed doors.
Like a biggity bitch.
Biggity bitch.
Like a biggity bitch.
So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this story and letting everybody know what comes of this because I know this isn't over yet.
Yeah, and to whoever wrote the anonymous letter, seriously, man, that is just so fucking bastard of you. I mean, if you're gonna fuck somebody, fuck them to their face, man. That's just bad.
So going ahead and moving on to the next thing. MLB is back for the 2017 season. The preseason is done. The World Baseball Classic wrapped up, which means it's time for some real baseball. And it began Sunday with 3 really good games. The first game was probably my favorite of all 3 games, as the Tampa Bay Rays whooped the New York Yankees 7-3. Yeah, suck on that one. Suck on that. All you Yankee fans, suck on it. You guys lost opening day to Tampa Bay, a shitty team.
So all I got to say to this is that I've heard certain Yankee fans say, it's opening day, so what?
Let me guess, is that person, happen to work with you?
Possibly. He may or may not be my boss. I cannot confirm or deny that.
Yeah, I bet. But, I'm any day the Yankees lose is a good day for me because I'm an Oriole fan. So
the sun shines on your face when the Yankees lose.
Oh, exactly. I was so happy when I looked at the scoreboard on Sunday night and I saw the Yankees got their ass whooped by the shitty Tampa Bay Rays. I'm sorry, Aunt Ellen. I know that's where you live and you support the Rays, but they're not that great of a baseball team.
Well, all I know is that it's only day 1. You got to wait to see what happens because in the words of a certain person that I cannot confirm or deny actually said these things, air quotes, wait to talk your junk until you got 15 games up at the end of August.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and that's what it is. It's a long season. This is only day 1 of 162 games. So, I mean...
long way to go.
Yeah, a long, long way to go. But in the second game, you had NL Central rivals St. Louis Cardinals getting a one-run victory over last year's MLB champion Chicago Cubs 4-3. I know, again, that's another one of those teams that it's day one.
Yeah, it's day one.
They lost to a good St. Louis team.
Yeah, don't hit the panic button yet. Yeah, you're way too early.
If you get into July, August, start of August, and you guys are 10 or 15 games back, okay, then you hit the button.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, you don't want to actually. You see, panic should not ever set in until you are like doing shitty and it's August. Then you need to start getting your shit together because it's coming to a close. You got April and May to work your bullshit out.
And then you also had the NL West rival Arizona Diamondbacks edging out San Francisco 6-5.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, the way I'm looking at it is this. Baseball has a lot of teams that are okay and then a lot of teams that are like stacked. They can make legitimate runs. Like, and apparently the Yankees are getting back to that prominence. Apparently they're getting the prominence of being like big time. Apparently they're getting back to that. But like right now it's like Chicago, and right now it's it's not them. It's other teams that are loading up. St. Louis is always loaded up. Like there's certain teams that are just running the show right now. San Francisco, they're always in the mix.
Don't let Tracy get in your head.
Don't let Tracy get in your head.
Tracy's getting your head and letting you hear all that Yankee bullshit. And that's all it is, Tracy. That's Yankee bullshit.
He said that Derek Jeter is a biracial angel and that you will not speak any ill of Derek Jeter in his presence, and that he's beloved by all, and that Cal Ripken cannot hold his jockstrap, not even with two hands. He actually added that one today. He said not even with two hands.
Well, Tracy, my response to that is that, yes, Derek Jeter is a great shortstop. But on the list of all-time greats...
I mean, is he not the GOAT?
He is not the GOAT.
He's not the GOAT.
He does not measure up to the great Cal Ripken.
Ooh.
Cal Ripken is a better shortstop than Derek Jeter, period.
Ooh.
And I know you're going to have that, Tracy, you're going to have that New England Patriot theory of thinking of, oh, well, he won all these championships with them and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Of course you're going to win championships when you have billions and billions of dollars and you can go out and get the good players. You know who doesn't have billions and billions of dollars? Teams like the Orioles, like the Oakland A's, like the Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies.
The Braves are in a black hole right now. Jesus.
These teams don't spend billions and billions of dollars each year. But guess what? You do. And it seems like every year except for last year, because you know what? I'm glad to see you guys went out and spent some money and fucking wasted it and got nowhere.
Salty like potato chips.
Oh, I'm salty like the sea.
Like the ocean? Are you the ocean at the moment? You salty?
I'm full on salty.
You feeling like some fat back?
I'm full. I'm full fat back right now.
Oh man, that's wonderful.
So we also had on Monday, it was official opening day for the rest of the league, and it was packed full of great games. And of course, I have to talk about my favorite team, the Baltimore Orioles, getting the 3-2 win in 11 innings after Mark Tremont hit a walk-off home run for the win. You know, and it was so great to see the Orioles come out. I mean, it's great to see them come out and win the game in that kind of fashion to start off, but like we were saying before, it's game 1 of 162, and you're starting off the season by having to do a walk-off in the 11th inning. That scares me a little bit on the state of what the Orioles are right now. I mean,
way too early to panic.
I'm not panicking yet. I'm just saying it's not a good way to start the season out when you have to go 11 innings and get a walk-off home run to start the season off.
That's an awesome way to start the season.
I mean, yes, as a fan, yes, it's awesome to see it as a fan. As a team, you're thinking, oh, I wish we could. We were up at one point 3-0.
We let them get back in.
And we blew a 3-0 lead and let them get back in this game. That's where I'm coming from.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
But, you know, still, a win's a win.
Win's a win.
Orioles start off 1-0 in the season.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
We also had last year's favorite to win it all, the New York Mets blanking the Atlanta Braves 6-0. Atlanta starting exactly where they left off last year in the shit tank.
The Braves are in a very abysmal, dark, shitty hole right now, and it's going to be a while. I don't give a fuck about a new stadium. It ain't nothing's going to work. It's until you just top bottom just wipe that whole fucking team clean, and you have to have some serious, no nonsense baseball guys come in there and start running shit. You can forget it, man. It's just no good. The Braves suck right now.
You know, you can always come over and be an Oriole fan.
But that's the thing. I already am an Orioles fan.
Oh, yes, you are. You're.
Remember, when I grew up as a kid, I was down here and I was up there. I was in both places, and both places had good teams that I liked. Especially because, for the obvious reasons, when I was a kid, it was Cal Ripken. In Baltimore, it was all about those those all black jerseys, man, and them orange stripes. Shit was sick, dude. Loved that shit. Loved their jerseys. Loved going to Camden. Me and Paul Mel went there, watched some games. It was great. Awesome fucking times. And then also on the other flip side of the coin, I love the Braves because when I played ball, I was a pitcher. And I loved me some fucking Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Mark Wohlers, all them cats. All of them, dude. They all. Steve Avery, all these cats, man. Those were my guys. I also like Randy Johnson, even though he wasn't on Braves. Randy Johnson was the bomb.
See, I always loved Ken Griffey Jr.
Y'all, hell yeah.
I love watching him not only hit, but going out and field the ball.
Nobody had a swing like Griffey Jr.
No, not at all.
That motherfucker had a swing.
Also on Monday, for opening day, the official opening day, the Boston Red Sox got the 5-3 victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Colorado Rockies edged out the Milwaukee Brewers 7-5. The Dodgers blew out San Diego Padres 14-3. It's really no big surprise because the Dodgers are not one of those up-and-coming teams that they're up there every year making the playoffs, doing their thing.
Correct. Tell you what, the Dodgers, they'll make the playoffs, but I don't know. It seems to me like Kershaw's just got like this playoff bugaboo that he's got to get through. I mean, I know ain't nobody fucking helping him. Zach Greinke wasn't really, living up to his end of the deal except for one season. But that's what I mean. I don't know. I think that LA is right on the cusp. That's one of those teams that they've been getting so much better that they almost have to win one at some point. You know what I mean?
I know my buddy, and our buddy, I should say, old Big Sook, Bob Sugarati. I know he's smiling down today. Or not really today, but on Monday. Because the Philadelphia Phillies eked out a victory over the Cincinnati Reds 4-3 to get an opening day victory.
Yeah, I know Sook was a big Phillies fan. My Uncle Jerry is. I know Phillies fans are live and die, man. They are all about them Phillies.
We had the Minnesota Twins blowing out the Kansas City Royals 7-1, which kind of surprised me because Kansas City is another one of those teams that's been up there and been up and coming the last couple of years.
Yes, very much so.
We also had last year's AL champion runner-up Cleveland Indians starting the season off on the right foot by defeating the Texas Rangers, which is a really good team.
Yeah, they are. That's another team that could very likely win a World Series this year.
They won 8-5. The Houston Astros shutting out Seattle 3-0. Oakland doubling up AL West rival LA Angels 4-2. And that was it. That was the last of the game. So we had a lot of good games going on, a lot of one-run games, some blowouts, some surprises. But overall, a really good opening day.
Hey, man, that's the beauty of baseball, man. That's just something about baseball. The nice weather, fresh cut grass, peanuts, sitting in the stands, keeping box score, just waiting for a big home run bomb. It's just, I don't know. There's something really cool about baseball.
And again, any day you can sit there and watch the Yankees lose, it's a good day.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
So if opening day if this is a preview of what the season has to come, this is going to be a very interesting season. But, we do have to remember this is only game 1 of 162. So there's still a long way to go to be playing baseball in October.
Oh, hell yeah. No, there's a long, long way to go.
So, that was just opening day. We've had, games yesterday. There's games tonight. We might be doing a little bit of talking about that as the season goes on. Just every now and then maybe give an update on what's going on with the standings. Let you know who's doing well and who's not.
Because remember, guys, we're not Vegas.
We're just two guys from South Carolina
Making our picks.
doing what we love.
There's no bunk. There's no bullshit. There ain't no gimmicks. It is what it is.
So we only have two more stories left, badass, of the show. Our big episode 26 show is almost in the books.
Hey, it's living up to the hype.
It has.
It has.
So we're going to talk a little bit of NFL football to end the show.
NFL? All right. Hit me with what you got.
So the first story that I found this week was an interesting one. Amazon has won the right to broadcast 10 NFL Thursday Night Football games on Amazon Prime that will also be broadcasted on CBS and NBC.
It's all about that money, man. Amazon's moving up in the world. They're getting ready to try to open grocery stores and buying up football. Hell, they're going to have drones delivering shit to your door. I mean, hell, yeah, everybody, we're all going to be enslaved by these. Amazon, Google, Facebook is going to own all of our motherfucking asses in 10 years. We don't watch the fuck out.
So Amazon, get this. Amazon signed a 1-year deal for $50 million.
Oh, they'll make that money back. Shit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They'll make it back, and then some.
And then some, most certainly then some. Oh,
but
yeah.
Still, 1 year, $50 million. That's pretty impressive.
It just goes to show you the power of Jeff Bezos.
So Amazon beat out top social media places like Twitter Inc., Facebook Inc., and Google's YouTube for the digital distribution rates. Amazon Prime is a subscription-based app that Amazon is hoping to get. The contract with the NFL will increase subscriptions, along with people going to Amazon and purchasing NFL merchandise. Sports fans are increasingly relying on the internet to watch content at the expense of the traditional cable and satellite connections. Twitter attracted 243,000 viewers on average during its NFL live stream debut last year.
And see, Amazon's much better equipped to handle the streaming and the flow of 1 million people or more watching this. So the right company might have got the job, except from, that's what I mean. Like YouTube would have been there because they're pretty massive. But I think in the end, the right person got the bid. We'll see.
I mean, Amazon's just an up-and-coming company that's just...
Oh, they're not up and coming. They're already there, man. They're big.
Like, they're pretty much now just doing what the WWE did to all the other wrestling promotions. They're basically just dick-slapping them and making them go out of business.
Like, put it to you this way. One of my good colleagues and somebody I highly respect happens to work at UPS. He's done said that, Amazon is responsible for a shitload of UPS's movings and goings, and I mean they're huge. They're linked together like this, and within 10 to 20 years, there's going to be a lot of brick and mortar stores out of business because of Amazon and UPS working in tandem. And with the internet, you just shut it down, dude. Forget about it. There's going to be a lot of stores obsolete. It's going to happen.
The only one that's going to stick around is Walmart.
Oh, you ain't never going to put well. Somebody's eventually going to drive the dagger into the heart of the fucking evil mart, but it's going to be a minute.
But stores like Radio Shack, Best Buy,
Kmart, gone.
Maybe not Best Buy right away. Maybe after a long, long fight. But
they might be the last one standing.
Kmart and Radio Shack, they're definitely not looking good.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of these stores, like Staples, a lot of this shit, they're about to go under. You're going to go let Amazon buy your asses out and let them use you as home base. Like, that's what I mean. Amazon is just slowly accruing the world, man. It really is.
Kind of like Walmart did a few years ago.
I mean, Walmart's still kind of there, but people are also kind of like, they're burnt out on Walmart. They're the evil empire that is everywhere.
Well, it's gotten to the point where people are just at the point where they say to themselves, I'd rather just sit here on my sofa and order something online and not have to deal with the lines and the attitudes of the employees and all the craziness and the fights breaking out in Walmart.
People hitting my fucking car in the parking lot.
All that kind of stuff. A lot of people were like, hey, I can order shit at home. I might have to pay a little bit of tax, but I'll get it in 2 days. I'm going to pay less than what I'm paying at Walmart, Radio Shack, Best Buy. I'm going to pay half that price. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I work at one of those retail places. I'm not going to say which one, but I work at one of those retail places, but I've ordered off of Amazon like crazy. I found a charger that was like $40 for $10 on Amazon. Am I going to pay $10 or am I going to pay $40?
Anybody who thinks we're full of shit, I want you to go hang out in Anderson Walmart off of 28. I want you to hang out by the checkout registers for an hour. Get back to me then. You'll see exactly what the fuck we're talking about.
I've lived it.
You already know.
Yeah, I already know.
Sadly, yes.
I live it every day.
And can you believe it? Seneca Walmart, the Seneca Super Walmart, it's awesome. Clean. Got a fucking McDonald's attached to it right up at the front. You can get you a Big Mac and then go shopping.
You go to Anderson, you get Subway where they leave the meat out all night, and you end up getting food poisoning.
You fucking shit your brains out.
Sorry, Subway, but you did it to me, so you can go
It's
fuck
true.
yourself.
It's true. It's damn true.
It gave me the shits for 3 days. Not to get too personal,
Feeks for weeks.
but I had shit for 2 or 3 days because it was bad.
Yeah, you had the feeks for weeks. It was bad.
So, last story of the night, badass.
Last story of the night.
And this one's actually pretty interesting. You have the Dallas Cowboys longtime quarterback, Tony Romo, has decided to call it a career on Tuesday after he was released so he could pursue his career in broadcasting for CBS Sports. CBS Sports is going to pair him with Jim Nantz to broadcast the NFL games this fall.
Don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
I love it.
Don't let 'em pick guitars and drive them old folks. Let 'em be doctors and
Oh, I'm sorry.
lawyers and such.
Were you saying that Tony Romo's retiring finally?
Yeah, finally Tony Romo is going to retire.
Finally?
Finally.
Well, it's about goddamn time.
So
When was the
Romo,
last time this motherfucker had a season he finished without getting injured?
I'd say at least 6-7 years.
Exactly. It's time. Go get in the booth and talk.
So Romo played 13 seasons in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys and finished his career with 34,183 passing yards, a 97.1 passing rating, 248 touchdowns, and 117 interceptions. Romo was a 4-time Pro Bowler and holds the team record for passing yards and passing touchdowns, but is known more for choking in the playoffs, winning only 2 of his 6 playoff games.
Yeah, I don't ever remember him winning a Super Bowl.
No, they're the Cowboys that they make it to the playoffs, or they choke in December and lose all December games and don't make the playoffs.
I know that's been killing Dubs for all these years, dude.
Oh, it kills Dubs because I make fun of him every year.
I'll bet you he loves him some Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott.
Oh, you should have heard all the shit he was talking this year.
Oh, I bet. Dallas fans always do.
He was like, "Oh, this is the future. This is the future right here. This is it right here."
He's right, but damn. I mean, he really is right, because that's the thing. You putting 2 of them cats at the helm, and they did so well in their freshman year, and they're likely not going to have a letdown in their sophomores. That's just everyone's always, the sophomore slump. Sophomore slump. We got film on them. This is true. I don't think it's going to affect them too as bad. I really don't.
Now they're just starting their career, and they're going to do wonderful things if they can keep it going.
Correct.
They have to get over that sophomore slump next year, but if they can get past that, they'll be all right.
It's true. But going back to the main man, do we got to give it to Tony this week? Because, I mean, think about it. He's done cashed out all this money playing football and not playing football at the same time.
I mean, look how many years, last 6 years, he's played sometimes half a season, sometimes a quarter of a season. Sometimes, like last year, he didn't even make it to the season. He got injured in preseason.
And he's fat paid.
How the fuck do you get injured in preseason?
He's the fucking quarterback of America's team. And he gets to fuck women like Carrie Underwood. I mean, do we have to give it to him?
I think we have to.
I think, you know what? We got to give it to you, brother. We got to give you the award. Which one is it?
The one that says bad motherfucker.
That's correct. You have the Banff Award of the night, my friend.
Yes. And you know why? He, not only for what he's done, but how he did it. Like, literally after he retired and was released by the Cowboys. You know how, like, some people, like, when the coach leaves or something like that, it's usually maybe, like a year or 2 before you see him in the booth. No.
Right to it.
He retired, and within 2 minutes, he was like, all right, I'm signing my contract with CBS Sports.
That's why he retired. He already knew. They were like, look, come up here and talk. We'd love to have you in the booth. And you looked at them and like, well, they're definitely not going to give me my job back over Dak, so might as well just go ahead and retire.
I mean, he could have played for the Texans, but I mean they're one of the teams that's up and coming. So I mean, I just don't think Romo would have been a good fit. It'd been another Texas team, but same results.
I think Houston needs to go after Deshaun.
Shh. I'm trying to get my 49ers to go after Deshaun.
Nah, I think Houston needs to get him. I think that's where he belongs.
Romo actually commented on his retirement, saying, "It was a very difficult decision. I went back and forth a number of times. It really had nothing to do with Texans and everything to do with CBS. I felt like it was the right decision to make."
Well, I mean, if that is his decision, that's his decision. You can't take it away from him. It's his. If he wants to go to the booth, hell, I think he's. Whether or not we think it, apparently the rest of the world thinks he's earned the right. So fuck it. I'd say let him go. I mean, he never won a Super Bowl. It's not like having Troy Aikman up there who's got Super Bowl rings, can wave them in your face, like, fuck you, look at my rings. I know what I'm talking about. And it's kind of, but Tony Romo is going to be one of those guys who everyone loves and talks to, but where's your hardware? Oh, yeah, you ain't got none. You another Joe Buck. It's really what you are. I mean, at least fucking, what's his face? My boy Gruden. At least Gruden can wave a Super Bowl ring in your face when he's talking shit. Oh, yeah, Spider Y banana. When he's yelling that stupid shit in your face, at least there's a Super Bowl ring gleaming. So you're like, okay, this Spider Y banana shit obviously worked at least once. And then you got Tony Romo going, well, you know what I think? Well, you know what? I don't think it fucking matters what you think, fucker. You didn't even win a goddamn NFC championship game. Fuck a Super Bowl. You couldn't even get to the game before it. Sit down. Sit down when you pee. I mean, seriously, dude. It's not, you can't really take him all that serious. I mean, I know people love him, but I'm sorry, man. If someone's going to be talking to me from a booth, I want Tom Brady. I want Mr. Dick Daddy himself coming in there. Hey, guys, guess what? Yes, Tom, we know it's GOAT Saturday. Yes, Tom, we know it's GOAT Sunday. Yes, Tom, we know it's GOAT Sunday. Hey, guys, you know what I am? Yes, Tom, you're the GOAT. Nah. Like, I mean, seriously, he'd be fucking with him. That'd be fun.
So my last question to you, badass, is, does Romo make the Hall of Fame?
Fuck no. Why should he? Because he played for 13 seasons? Like, if you really add up his time, he played like 7 seasons.
So it's pretty much like a participation award.
Yeah, man, don't let him in. He didn't, look, you can write the entire history of football without him. You know how? The entire time he was at Dallas, you just sum it up as, well, Dallas sucked. Oh, wow, he had passing yards. Oh, wow, he's the... Did you ever win the big games that counted? No.
Did you ever make it to the big game?
No.
Yeah.
Can the history of the game be written without you? Yes. Bye.
You have great names like Montana and Favre and Elway and Manning.
You're not going to Canton and
You're not
stacking all
going to
that.
Canton with a shitty ass record like you had.
I mean, if someone were to tell me Elway, Manning, Brady, Favre, Montana, and then they hit me with Romo. What? That's what? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, there's got to be a cliff, like a drop here, because we just went from greats to like, like, you know, we just went from homemade Italian food from the Italian lady who's never left fucking Sicily, 60 years old, just made you a 9-course fucking meal and goes, manja, and you eat all her food, and you're like, Jesus God, I could die. This is the best food ever. And then you're like, okay, we're going to have some Chef Boyardee now. The fuck are you talking about? Are you serious? Fuck Tony Romo. Hell no, he doesn't belong in Canton. If he gets in Canton, I belong there if he does.
Me too.
For real, dog. Like,
I should be in the broadcasting wing of the Hall of Fame then.
I should just be one of the great shit talkers of all time wing, whatever that is.
I like that. Is that your personal wing?
The great shit talkers of all time, correct.
So, that's going to do it for our show. Episode 26 is in the book. You know, we had a lot of stuff we talked about tonight. We had the March Madness wrap-up, you know, UConn losing, MMA update, WrestleMania recap. I mean, we went through a lot tonight. Major League Baseball opening day. I mean, we had a lot of stuff this week. And next week, I already have a couple things next week we're working on. We have the NBA basketball preview, playoff preview, and also the NHL playoff preview.
That is
Because
true.
both of them are wrapping up their seasons this week, coming up. So we'll have seedings and everything coming out. We can discuss it, talk about what's going on, maybe do a Clemson baseball update. We haven't done that in a while. Update, letting you guys know how Clemson baseball is doing. And then, of course, we'll be doing many of our other stories that we come up with throughout the week. You know, when somebody does something wrong or does something good, we'll be talking about it next week on our show.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better. That's actually a pretty good rundown.
So, guys, don't forget, go to our Facebook page, The Burger and Badass Show at facebook.com. Make sure you guys listen to our show, like, comment, let us know what you think. I know we're going to probably get a lot from North Carolina and the LGBT and boxing fans this week after what Badass went on his rant with. But you can go check us out there. Definitely like our page. And then also you guys can go to our YouTube page, which is The Burger and Badass Show at youtube.com. And make sure you guys go and subscribe to our channel, because the more subscribers we get, the better we look towards YouTube, and they might, start actually paying us to do this thing.
And you know what? If there's those out there who actually want to hear us and pay us, then fuck it, bring it. I'll gladly take your money to abuse and insult people and trash their feelings, because Lord knows I love doing that.
Yes, we know. We know, Badass. You love to do that.
Yes, hold on.
You did that very, very well tonight.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Did I trample on someone's feelings?
Your feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself.
So that's going to be it. We'll be back next Wednesday for episode 27. Like I said, Clemson baseball next week. NBA playoff preview, NHL playoff preview. And that's going to be it, guys. So you guys have a good night. Definitely listen to our show. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next week. Badass, you have anything to add before we get out of here for the night?
You've got to the count of 10 to get your lion, yella, no good keister off my front door. 1, 2.
You know it ain't no stopping all the dogs I'm dropping. It's Friday night, so everything is popping. I got 10 to spin on the head, so let the games begin. Yakety yak, don't talk back over a song. Calling up Earl on the car phone. Mac 10 just got out of court, rolling through the hood in the super sport, coming too short.